We were on a budget. We didn't do the typical church plant where you spend like $100,000 and you buy all this fancy equipment. We were like,
didn't do that, no.
Here's $2,000, let's see what we can get with that.
It was a school, so we were literally stuck in a gym, so you had basketball hoops hanging above your head.
Our lighting options were on or off, so there was no mood to set. There was no, cultivated atmosphere of worship. It was just raw presence of God.
Literally unpacking and packing back Rubbermaid tubs in and out of the storage unit, in and out of their cars every single Sunday. If there was ever a moment you're like, okay, this is not gonna work, this is not what God has for us, we just kept going.
Today, Legacy Chapel serves the community of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, where we have seen God's work transform countless lives, families being restored, businesses flourishing, not to mention miracles and breakthroughs of every kind. Our mission statement, loving God, loving people, and serving our world, may sound simple, but the journey to get to where we are now is one of humble beginnings, small victories, and the drive to just keep going, even when things didn't make sense in the natural. This is the story of Legacy Chapel. Before there was a church building, a worship team, or even a ministry mission statement, there was a young couple by the name of Brant and Abby Eberhardt. The Eberhardts both came from a family of pastors and were well aware of the struggles that came with the territory and had no desire to pastor a church. That is, until 2009, when God began giving them both a vision to reach the people of Denver.
We really felt a connection to Denver, not just the climate. Everyone talks about the mountains and all this, the amazing parts of Denver and in Colorado, but it's really the people. I think that we really felt a connection as we grew up here, that these are the people that we feel called to. We started talking with people that were very close to us. Mm-hmm. Our parents, the Briggs, Greg and Carol Fritz, Tony and Kathy Miller, we put it before them and said, what do you think about this? David Briggs said, I want you to come to Florida and meet this young man who's leading worship.
Pastor Brant and I went out. It was Panera Bread. I remember it vividly, even though it's been a long, long time. The cool thing was this church hadn't even started yet, but he was so passionate about it. The vision, it was all about changing our environment, changing our communities, changing our neighborhood, changing the city of Denver.
We started looking for places to meet and schools to meet, and we honestly got no's from a number of places. We went to Bear Canyon Elementary, couldn't get a sitter, so we brought the kids. The principal of the school fell in love with the kids before I think she ever heard a word that we said. This principal was like, yes, I would love to have your family and your church plant in my school. So we just dove in, and all of that happened probably, Kyle said yes, we found his place, we found the sound system, and she said yes, all within about 30 days. It all just came together.
After nearly 2 years of praying about the vision God gave them, Brant and Abby suddenly began seeing doors open within a matter of weeks. Not only did Kyle Kushel leave his position at a large church in Florida to lead worship for their startup, a principal of a public school in one of the most secular cities in America felt led to let them hold weekly church services in her building, the first home for Legacy Chapel. Within a matter of weeks, more volunteers joined Legacy in support of their launch, Sunday, September 25th, 2011.
There was a grand total of 49 people. We counted the janitor
Bill,
which was we built a relationship with the janitor. I feel like it was an amazing day. I taught on Ezekiel 37.
It was such a simple service. We didn't have any way to play bumper videos. We didn't have an announcement video. We didn't have anything to announce really other than come back next week, please.
So first Sunday, 49, second Sunday, 24 people were in service the second Sunday. So if there was ever a moment you're like, okay, this is not gonna work, this is not what God has for us, we just kept going.
Setting up was awful every Sunday. It was, you had to, line up the metal chairs in nice, neat rows.
I mean, everything we owned at Legacy was in a storage unit down the road from the church, but we didn't have a trailer. And so in my little 4-door sedan, we would all just meet there early in the morning and stuff it. It really, really put things into perspective. What are we doing? You have to really want it.
In a church plant, when you have snow days, you kind of resolve in your mind, okay, we're gonna set up this church, we're gonna have church today, but like 10 people are gonna come, right? I don't know why, but at Legacy, it's like on snow Sundays, that's when visitors come. But it was just this faithful commitment to the call of saying, we're gonna take care of the one, we're gonna take care of the two, we're gonna take care of that family, we're gonna take care of that individual person. And it was, I think that was our mindset.
From that mindset, Legacy Chapel faithfully served their congregation of about 20 to 30 regular members. Though their beginnings were humble, Pastor Brant and Abby were able to hold down 5 jobs to support their family as the church grew. Knowing that God would be the one to bring the increase, the early team of Legacy Chapel came up with creative solutions to make the most of their humble beginnings by creating portable lighting rigs and backdrops, as well as utilizing a trailer to store all of their gear. Their faithfulness paid off, and by 2014, the church had grown to the point where they would need a more permanent home.
We found a building for sale, which is pretty rare in the Denver area.
It was a family-owned building that they needed to get rid of it, and they were really tired of getting contracts and then things falling through with the county. So as soon as we put the offer in, like this is all we can do type of thing, it was an amazing deal. We literally went from Rubbermaid tubs to a trailer to a 6,000 square foot building.
There's something about having property and owning something that is so exciting because it's property for the kingdom. And so I think that excitement and anticipation definitely brought more people to Legacy and started growing from there.
Since moving locations, Legacy Chapel has not stopped growing. Not only does their church hold weekly services for both adults and children of all ages, their building serves the community of Highlands Ranch through their daycare, Legacy Preschool. Of course, their vision has never departed from their humble vision of loving God, loving people, and serving our world.
One of the most beautiful things to see at Legacy over the years is how God uses people so uniquely.
We could not be where we are without that consistency. Those that teach the toddlers, or those that are with the elementary kids, or the guys on the security team, or the worship guys. It's a fingerprint of who Legacy Chapel is that volunteers being faithful to serve, committed to do it with a high level of excellence, and finding genuine, real people.
While Brant and Abby's calling to change Denver is only just beginning, this video is a celebration of the humble beginnings, the small victories, and the drive from several volunteers to just keep going. These first 10 years have been nothing short of a miracle, and we are excited to see what this next decade will bring. If God can bring all of this from one simple vision, just imagine what He will do next.